Breaking news, Russia launched 150 drone and missile attack across Ukraine. This is the biggest airstrike since the beginning of this war. Russia Ministry of Defense claimed all the missiles hit their target. And as usual, Ukraine denies it. If you're familiar with this particular conflict, you wouldn't be surprised that Ukraine is denying it. So according to Ukraine, they shot down 80 missiles and 30 drones. Interesting. Sometimes Ukraine shoot down more missiles than the missiles that the Russians launch. So I'm not surprised that they are denying it. Last year, I spoke a lot about Odessa and Russian airstrike. For the sake of those who were not here, let me throw more light on it. This whole airstrike began when Ukraine attacked the Crimea Bridge. And that was when General Surovikin was appointed. In General Surovikin's opening address, he sent over 100 missiles to Ukraine. And it was in winter. Winter is back again. Last year, I told you guys that the Russians are not interested in maneuver warfare. They fight in attrition way. And no country on earth here fights attrition war better than the Russians. And I also told you guys that it's just a matter of time. Russia will win. Attrition war is very dangerous. The person with more money and good economy and weapons obviously is likely to win. Today, we all know the current state of Ukrainian economy. Completely gone. The Western America is hesitating to give Ukraine weapons. Up to date, Americans are still debating whether to give Ukraine weapons or not. Currently, the Americans are busy fighting on the promised land. Ukraine is not a top priority again, because they fully understand that Ukraine stands no chance to win this war. And this is the moment that the Russians were waiting for. According to Redacted, the average Ukrainian soldier is 45 years. Some are 50, some are even over 60. And they are pushing this old man into meat grinder. Some of us started telling you guys way back that the Ukrainians are running out of Ukraine. And a lot of NATO supporters were arguing blindly. Now, go to DW platform. It's your own media house. You know, if I say go to RT, you say, oh, RT is full of propaganda. If I ask you to go to Sputnik, you say that Sputnik is propaganda. Okay, I want you to go to your own media house, DW. Just go to their YouTube channel and check. Ukrainian citizens are running. The young guys are leaving the country. They are bribing officials just to leave Ukraine. They don't want to go to the battlefield. And to the so-called volunteer fighters who went to Ukraine to defend democracy, I think you guys, Ukraine need you now than ever. Ukraine need more men. Please, go and help Ukraine fight and save democracy. Ukraine is currently deep. Recently, when European Union parliamentarians met, they were busy talking about how to accept Ukraine membership into EU. But that is absolutely needless now. What Ukraine needs now is weapons. And obviously, the Western military-industrial complex cannot produce weapons in large quantity. The Americans who claim that they will defend Ukraine to the last Ukrainian is now busy fighting to fulfill a Bible prophecy in the Middle East. Interesting time ahead. If you check the airstrike, the Russians targeted Odessa. From day one, I told you guys that the Russians would definitely take Odessa because they want to make Ukraine a landlocked country, right? Whereby they cannot put submarines and, warships right on the borders of Russia. So I told you guys that the Russians will eventually take Odessa. And that is exactly what is now happening. Odessa was founded by Catherine the Great in 1794. By then, there was no USSR. Odessa was founded in 1794 by Catherine the Great. So historically, Odessa belongs to Russia. So I don't want anybody to come here and tell me, they were all in USSR, blah, blah, blah. No. USSR was formed recently by Lenin, right? The Russian Empire existed long before the formation of USSR. Well, Ukraine had an opportunity to reclaim back all their lands through negotiation. All what the Russians needed from Ukraine was security guarantee that they will not join NATO. But they allowed the Americans and the Europeans to deceive them that they will help them. Well, today here we are. I think Ukraine is learning it the hard way. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to like the video and also share it to family and friends. See you in the next episode.